Okay, so what we're going to do now is to kind of draw out some of the ideas that hopefully you touched upon in your assignment there. We're going to break into groups, but it's going to be a two-stage process. So you're going to get into one group first for the first for 5 minutes or so. So from Andrzejina to Lauren, and then Joe to Matt, Yasmin to John, and then Kelly to Manuel. You guys will be groups at first. And so, for instance, so your group, I want you just to discuss identify 3 similarities or differences with the Russian mafia and then the mafias we've studied, and then the Mexican drug cartels, and then Mexican drug cartels and Russia, right? So focus on those as a group. Regardless of what you wrote on in there, you'll get a chance to talk about it later, and you should have read both, so you should know, right? And then we're gonna, after that 5 minutes, after you kind of come up with a list of some key similarities and differences, we're gonna mix the groups up, so then you guys can talk to each other about the differences between the Russian and the Mexican. So your 2 groups will kind of mix, right, and form 2 new groups, and your 2 groups will form 2 new groups, and you'll have 10 minutes to do that, and then we're gonna come together as a class and then kind of talk about some of the big themes. So it's one extra step. Keep the assignment. Yeah, you can write notes on it, and then because then at the end of those 2 groups, I'm going to give you a few minutes to kind of go back over what you just wrote and make some annotations about anything you would, add or subtract or change after the conversations. So it's a little different than what we've done in the past, but I want to see the extra level of reflection after the group discussion. So go ahead and get into your groups and start focusing on the specific group that I assigned you. So Russia, Mexico, Russia. And I'll come around. So what have you got so far? With the Russian mafia.
Like for some of those parts where, for like the political aspect of it in Russia, that they would actually run for office because they wouldn't get if they were in legislation, they wouldn't get charged for like criminal activity.
Okay. So is that a similarity difference, or?
That was like the difference because they'd like actually run for office.
Okay.
For like the Italian and Mexican like mafia, they would like let someone else be the head of it, but still like the similarities where they would both still like buy off and like threaten.
Okay.
Like,
so the ways in which they engaged in the political process was different. They were engaging, but it was in a different way, right? Much more direct. Okay.
Yeah, we also made a connection between like the business that they were in. Like they always specialize in certain ones. Like the Russian mafia specialized in like the pantyhose business, whereas like in America, the Italian mafia specialized in certain things like during Prohibition with the alcohol and things like that.
Okay. Sounds good. I'll give you another minute or so, and then we're going to mix it up. All right. So let's do a good conversation, and we'll keep talking about it. But right now, so I want you to mix up. So so Kelly and Rick, I want you to switch with John and Yasmin, and switch groups, and then Joe and Jake. Yes, I want you to switch with Emily and Lauren. You guys are kind of closest, which is why I'm doing it. And so now in your new groups, I want you to kind of highlight, bring up some of the reasons your own group came up with for differences, and see how they compare with what the other group came up with. Yeah, Rick, you're going here.
I thought you meant like we were going to be in a group.
No. So we're trying to. Right. You're talking about both now and seeing how their similarities and differences kind of relate, right? So we're trying to make some connections between the cartels and the Russian mafia and the other mafias that we've studied. It's getting much more complex.